Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining the call. My name is Chinmay Bhavani Shankar, and I'm part of the U.S. Partner Experience team. Today, we are going to talk about the cloud productivity competency. This is the second of the series where I am tackling one cloud competency at a time, talking about the requirements and the benefits associated with that. To go over the agenda really quickly, I will give you a quick overview of the Microsoft Partner Network, and then we'll talk about competency requirements in general, and for this competency in particular, the benefits, again, general and particular, and some of the resources, and then open the floor up for Q&A. On the line today, we also have members of the MPN support team in case you have any questions. We have our Office 365 subject matter expert and partner technology strategist, Michael Pansaroli, on the call as well. I would love it if you could just type out your questions as we go along, and I'll get back to it as and when possible. Again, the packaging of this call is very similar, so bear with me as I go over some of the same things as I did in the first call about small and mid-market cloud solutions competency. For anyone who's new, I just want to make sure I'm covering all the bases before we jump into this competency in particular. And also some of the messaging, it's just easier to hear it over and over again. You might hear something new this time that you had a question about. The Microsoft Partner Network empowers you with the expertise you need to serve your customers, the opportunities you seek to strengthen your capabilities, and the tools to ensure that you are profitable. And it connects you to communities where you can connect with partners to push the boundaries of innovation. Now, through this, we aim to ensure that you can increase customer connections as you take on the market. When you join the Microsoft Partner Network, you receive a set of core benefits that can help you save time and money while you strengthen your capabilities, while you better serve your customers and build connections to reach your full business potential. Now, whether you're an individual looking for information, testing the waters, or a small business looking for support, or you might be an established company looking to differentiate your business, our partner program offers membership options, as you can see. There is the network membership, which is free, where you get entry-level benefits and training and support. And then there is Action Pack subscription, which you pay for. It's an annual subscription, and you get certain internal use rights. You get access to support. And over the years, we've taken feedback, and now auto-renewal is available as well. And the whole experience of signing up for an Action Pack subscription has been made better. Then we come to competencies, which is the third membership option. And it has two levels, silver and gold. And you can obtain that by taking some certifications and exams, meeting sales performance requirements, obtaining customer references, and paying fees where applicable. Now, while silver competencies represent consistent capability, expertise, and commitment, gold competencies demonstrate best-in-class capability within a specific Microsoft solution area. Now, you can earn both gold and silver competency in any of the 28 areas, and that include cloud, on-premise, and hybrid cloud capabilities. With a competency, you also get incremental internal use right benefits, support, and advisory hours. To go over really quickly, these are the cloud performance competencies. There are about 28 competencies, and among them we have 5. You can see that there are 2 for Office 365. We've already tackled the small and mid-market cloud solutions, and today we're talking about cloud productivity. We also have one that is aligned to Microsoft Azure, which is Cloud Platform. We'll be talking about this competency next week. Then comes Microsoft Dynamics CRM, which aligns to the cloud customer relationship management competency. And then our latest one, which revolves around Enterprise Mobility Suite, and that is the Enterprise Mobility Management competency. Now, if you aren't ready for a competency just yet, and you're still a network member trying to figure out while I'm working towards my competency, how do I actually get some additional benefits, then the action pack is the right place for you. You not only get support and internal use rights, but you also have access to our customer to partner marketplace, which is Pinpoint, and also you will have access to our community as well. Let's go over the competency requirements. So on a very high level, all competency requirements are split into 4 buckets: customer evidence, certifications and exams, performance, and fees. For customer evidence, you're demonstrating your experience by providing customer references, and typically it's 3 references for a silver competency and 5 references for a gold competency. And for certifications, we want you to demonstrate your expertise, and every competency has a different set of certifications and exams that are required. Performance, you will demonstrate your partnership with Microsoft by meeting the sales performance requirements. Again, it's different based on which competency you're aiming for. And fees, there's 1 fee due 1 time per year, and no matter how many additional competencies your organization earns, you only will be paying 1 fee for the year. Michael, talking about customer evidence, here is, I'll be diving deeper into this on this slide. And before that, Alex, you had a question. When will the new cloud competencies show up in our partner portal to start working towards them? So by new, the 5 competencies that I just talked about are already on the portal, and so are the requirements. So if you go back again to this link on the slide where I listed all the cloud performance competencies, you'll be able to see the requirements. To keep moving forward, for customer evidence, so there are 3 main steps that you will have to do to get a customer reference. So the first one is you request a reference from your customer through the Partner Membership Center. You sign in to Partner Membership Center, and from the Requirements and Assets menu in the Partner Membership Center, you'll click on Create Customer Reference and put in the required information. You'll select the location and fill out the customer and project details, and from there on, the customer gets notified. So the second step is notify your customer to make sure that they're looking out for this email. So you can look at the sample customer reference email so that you know exactly what is being sent, or at least you get an idea of what is being sent to your customer. And also, and then the third part, once the customer is done, make sure you check in your Partner Membership Center that this requirement is fulfilled. Haki, you had a question. How often does the information get refreshed? I've added customer references, assigned them to the competency, but still not seeing the competency getting updated. It should be refreshed fairly often. I would give it maybe a week at the most. But if you have additional questions, you can contact support. If you want to send me a message on Yammer, then we can have support reach out to you by the end of this call. Certifications and exams, every competency has a different set of requirements, as I said, and one thing I want to call out is that your organization can obtain multiple competencies. So if you have employees that have done exams, that have completed exams that are eligible for multiple competencies, then you can use that certified professional and say that, and use those exams towards attaining multiple competencies. Microsoft Partner Learning Paths is the best way for you to get a path, I guess, a roadmap to getting a competency. It not only lays out all the exams, but also the training that we have available to prepare you best for the exam. All the training for the exams that are listed on the learning paths is hosted on Partner University. So when you click on it, you will be taken to Partner University, which has recently launched, and you have all the frequently answered questions, a document that's on the Learning Paths page to help guide you on how to sign in to Partner University and answer any questions that you might have in the process. Of course, performance is the most difficult of all the 3 steps. We recommend that while you're trying to meet the performance goal, that you work with the other steps already, because this might be the last one that you hit and you want to be prepared. As soon as you fulfill the performance requirements, you can get the competency. Now, performance assessment is shifting from seats sold to active usage and consumption. So last week when we talked about small and mid-market cloud solutions, we were talking about performance in terms of seats sold, and this time we'll be talking about it in terms of active usage. You will also need to be the partner of record to apply your Microsoft Office 365 deployments towards your cloud competency. Now, the digital partner of record is something that you need to know. It automates how you're attached as the partner of record for subscriptions and that you're actively managing for your customers. And it associates you as a partner to a Microsoft Cloud subscription. So this makes it easier for you to attain a competency. This makes it easier for us to ensure that you're servicing your customers and fulfilling the performance requirements. If a competency is in progress, can you still renew maps since you do not yet have a competency? Yes, you can, David. And thank you, Myra, for taking the questions in the chat window. But yes, if you are working towards a competency and you're currently an Action Pack member, you can still renew the Action Pack. But once you get a competency, your Action Pack is not valid anymore. And the fees is the last part, which varies by location. And no matter how many additional competencies you get, it's just one fee due one time per year. In the US, for silver competency, it would be $1,660 US, not including local taxes. And for gold, it would be $3,940 US, not including taxes. If you had any questions with billing, please look at your support options. And also, when you call support, please make sure you know where to find your MPN ID and anniversary date. This should be available in the Partner Membership Center, and these are the only 2 things you will need to keep in mind when you're talking about membership with anyone on the support side. Now, for cloud productivity competency in particular, let's go over the requirements. In terms of customer evidence, for silver, again, there are 3 customer references, and for gold, there's 5 customer references required. Certifications, I will talk about the exams on the next slide, but for silver, you'll need to have 1 individual that will complete the exams and certifications, and there are 2 available options. And for gold, you will have 2 individuals that need to complete the exams and certifications requirement. For performance, partners must have deployed 2,000 active entitlements for silver and 4,000 active entitlements for gold. Now, just to clarify, the deployments can be any Microsoft Office 365 workload, so Exchange Online, SharePoint, Skype for Business, or Yammer, or Pro Plus. So active users must also be paid licenses, and the partners must be attached as the partner of record to qualify. And for fees, for silver, for all the cloud competencies, there is no cost for the partner until June 30th, 2016. So for all the cloud competencies in these series and the ones that were in the slide, the 5 cloud competencies, silver competency is available to you at no cost as long as you meet all the other requirements. For gold, however, it is $3,940 US, not including applicable local taxes and fees. I'll take a second here. There's been a lot of activity in the chat window.
One of them is from Monica, and she asks if a customer buys Office 365 licenses from another vendor. However, deployment is performed by us, will the Office 365 count toward performance? So today, as you just mentioned, it's really a digital partner of record. That's absolutely the sure way, but just in terms of progress and kind of where we're moving to really help with this performance, and as the business changes, there was a blog article out by Gabriella, and maybe you can find that and put a link in the window that really kind of talks about how we're kind of shifting more to crediting the deployment partner for the actual performance requirement of the competencies. So things like having your deal registered in Fast Track, or being an administrator, being appointed an administrator in the tenant's Office 365 tenant. So those are some ways that you can kind of get credit toward that, and we're currently investigating that to see when that will actually come to date, but we're investigating that. So, but that is the way things are shifting to really help, because a lot of partners are really helping with that deployment, and they'll be credited for the performance at some point in the future.
Yeah, thank you, Michael. Hope that answers your question, Monica. I know Ron had a question about, we had someone pass the cloud platform technical assessment, but it doesn't show it as being completed. Who do we contact? It would be MPN support. If you could look at your support options and contact MPN support with your MPN ID, I think they should be able to take care of that. If that doesn't work, please feel free to send me a message on Yammer, and I can point you to your support resources as well. David, your question, the January Central Partner call, there was a code. If you could send me a message on Yammer, that would be great. We will talk about that. I wasn't on the Central Partner call, and I'll look at the resources and let you know. Dan, are there any plans to add an ISV track to the cloud productivity competency? We influence a mighty heap of Office 365 consumption, but we don't provide the types of post-sale support one would expect from a digital partner of record. I don't quite know what is coming, Dan, to be clear. So when the announcement is made, I know Sharon Lee, who's also on my team, she works for ISVs in particular, and she that's her audience. And I know she's working with the Worldwide Partner Group to make sure that there are ISV tracks. I'm not sure if it is coming to cloud productivity anytime soon, but I would keep an eye out on the announcements.
Yeah, I totally hear you, Dan. This is something that is sorely needed, and I really hope that we see some announcements around that soon. A lot of folks are in the same spot, and something that we really need to progress on.
Yep. Michael, you also had a question. I received an email from MPN about small and mid-market cloud solutions, and that you were close to attaining it. How do I get it to show up on my membership portal so I can track the items we need to complete, including requesting customer references? Anyone on the support end can answer that. I think, as far as I know, you can look at the requirements on the portal, Michael, and go from there, but I don't know how it would show up on the Partner Membership Center. Support team, do you have any insight on that? All right, I don't think they have the right connection, but if you could send me a message on Yammer, Michael, we can take a look at that and I'll answer your question. Exams and certifications for cloud productivity competency. Again, as I said in the previous slide, it's one individual for silver and 2 individuals for gold. But what are the exact exams? And I just wanted to go over that since we're talking about each competency in detail. So option 1, you will need to have 1 or 2 individuals, so 1 for silver and 2 for gold, pass the following 2 exams, so 7346 and 7347. And you will need to have your employees pass one of the following options. So the list that you see there, one of them. So option 1 is essentially 3 exams, 7346, 347, and you get one of the 10 options, I think, that you have down there. That was option 1. And option 2, which is for Pro Plus, you would need to obtain 1 certification, which is the MCSA certification for Office 365, and you can obtain one of, again, 4. You have an option to do 1. So you'll need to get either 2 certifications or pass 3 exams to summarize what this exactly means. If you go to the learning path, this will also make it a little easier because it lays out all the different exams and tells you what training you need to take in order to be prepared for the exam. As far as the benefits are concerned, there are some core benefits that you get across all competencies that go from selling, marketing, getting support, and enabling your business. So in terms of selling, you have Microsoft Partner Incentives, payment solutions. You have access to LicenseWise for volume licensing and also technical pre-sales assistance. In marketing, you can sign up to get a partner newsletter. The Partner Marketing Center is an important resource, and also you'll have prioritized listing in the Pinpoint directory. You can also get a competency logo or a certified letter. So Logo Builder, as we call it, was refreshed recently. So if you go in membership and marketing and go to Logo Builder from the portal, you'll be able to get the certified letter. For support, for Silver, you also have partner advisory hours. This is something that isn't used as much. It's a benefit that's seldom used, and I really want to encourage you to at least give them a call if you haven't already. Even Action Pack subscribers get a few hours, I believe, not as many as a silver or gold competency holder. They help you manage either your membership or your not membership, but more of your business plan. And if you have a particular solution that you're thinking about for your customers, they will consult with you on that. Product support, you have about 15 incidents for silver and 20 for gold. And of course, Signature Cloud support is available. It's unlimitedly available for all cloud performance competencies. Planning and enabling internal use rights, cloud services, and on-premises software, you get a certain number of licenses for internal business use, so up to 25 licenses for a silver competency and up to 100 licenses for gold. And you also get Visual Studio subscriptions. And this would be the incremental benefits. I apologize if it is a little too tiny, but in addition to the Signature Cloud support, you get eligibility for Microsoft Office Services Advisor and Deploy Accelerator, which was quite a mouthful. You also get eligibility to participate in Office 365 adoption offers as well, and of course, Pinpoint prioritization that I mentioned. So in terms of internal use rights, in addition to all of the core benefits that I talked to you about, you get additional of 25 seats for silver for Office 365 and 100 seats for gold for Office 365. So for internal use rights, I wanted to bring your attention to one particular resource. I had a call series last year where I talked about each of the internal use rights and how to activate them, and talked about them in detail, and I had members of the support team answer my questions. If you could take a look at this one particular blog post that combines all of the resources. You can also watch the recorded calls. The call series, again, is coming up end of February as well. I'm going to redo the same call series. So you can just log on to the call and activate your internal use rights as we walk you through it, if you are interested in making use of this benefit. Coming to some resources for suggested reading, these are some blog posts that I think you will find very useful. There's a 3-part blog series for Office 365 that Michael here had written, and it specifically talks about the new Office 365 E5 suite. The NPN 101 blog post, again, consolidates all the guidance that you will need for managing your relationship with Microsoft. And of course, renewing your competency once you attain a competency and then you would like to renew it, and what the different steps are to make sure that you renew on time. That is an important blog post as well. Michael, did you want to talk about the Office 365 partner community in particular?
Sure. I'll plug our community. So this is for U.S. partners, and if you're working with Office 365, we have some resources here for you to be able to take advantage of. And one of them is a newsletter that we have, and so you'll see the vanity URLs there to be able to sign up and receive that. And it comes out, a little bit toward the end of the month, usually around somewhere between, the 15th and the 22nd. And what it is, it's we kind of focus on monthly themes, and so we'll have information associated with those themes, kind of what's hot, if you will, in the Office 365 world. We'll have a summary, a curated summary of kind of what's happened in the past month of service news, and it's a great place to find information on incentives, and particularly around events that are happening around the U.S. and any type of conferences that are coming up. You'll also have the opportunity to register for our monthly calls. When you see that on the bottom there, this month is going to, or actually February, and just next Friday should be a great call. We're going to have Mark Cashman talking about SharePoint 2016 and the modern intranet. So really looking forward to that, and you can register for next month's call and all the calls of the series with that URL. And if you're not on the Yammer network, I highly recommend this for U.S. partners. And what this does, this kind of talks about in a U.S. context the things that are important to Office 365 partners. There's a U.S. partner network, and then within that we have an Office 365 group, which you can participate in and connect with us and with other Office 365 partners. And Chinmai's already mentioned the U.S. blog, and so you can check those articles out as well.
Fabulous, thank you. Since we have you on the line, and now Fast Track is the next one. I know we talked about this before and how useful Fast Track is for Office 365 in particular. For cloud productivity competency, how useful of a tool is this?
Well, it's not. I wouldn't even call it a useful tool. I would just call it like something that, okay, it's a tool, but it's like kind of standard operating procedure, right? If you're an Office 365 partner, you need to be using Fast Track, and so there's a lot of great information here. It's a great resource, and in the past, people have associated Fast Track with an offer, with the adoption offer, but it's really much more than that. We've made a lot of investments, and it really incorporates Success Center, adoption, and really the full lifecycle planning of an Office 365 engagement. So anybody can register now with your work account. You can add other people to your team, on your team, and add your customers. Mm-hmm. You can provision new Office 365 tenants in there and trials. You can even provision sandboxes with content on there to be able to kind of work together. And it's really the basis of planning throughout the life cycle. So we're really trying to encourage, and we're also incenting partners on getting them to adopt, not just to deploy. And so you have a success plan in there, and it really is a contract, a statement of work, if you will, and your plan to deploy each one of the workloads and kind of what's in there. And that also becomes the basis of what you submit to be able to qualify for a different offer. So for example, right from within the tenant, that's where you can apply for and track the different offers that are available for your engagement with that customer, and that success plan is kind of a basis for that as well. So a really important tool. It's a way you engage with the Fast Track Onboarding Center, which is a benefit to customers that purchase over 50 seats, right? That's been lowered down recently. And so that's the way you can engage, that's the way you register as a partner, so that the Fast Track Onboarding Center knows that you're working with that customer and they should be calling you, and you work with them on behalf of your customer to provide and get the scale and get the best practices and tools and expertise. So it really is ground zero for an Office 365 partner. If you want to experiment with this, you can also just go ahead in there and create a test customer. Maybe just adorn it with test on that, just so you can kind of see how that works, so that the Fast Track folks will, when they go to verify that, they'll see if this is just a test, and they may wind up removing it, but it can really help you see how it kind of works, and then you can see the offers that are available in there and everything else.
Yeah.
Oh, and also one other thing I wanted to point out. People have a lot of questions around what the Fast Track Onboarding Center does, and right from this main page here, if you go into the Office 365 tab and then the Onboard sub-tab there, there's some great links out to the TechNet articles that exhaustively and up-to-date covers, okay, what are my responsibilities as a partner, what are the customer responsibilities, and what is Microsoft responsibilities throughout this whole process and the different phases and so on. So lots of great information in here.
Oh, that's great. Ryan is asking a question. Is there training available for Fast Track? Looking for best practices on drafting a success plan. Yes,
in fact, Ryan, there's even didn't I send you these, Ryan? I thought I had sent you some some examples of there are some examples of a kind of a model or good examples of success plans that we received. And
now, is that on the Fast Track tool, or is it hosted somewhere separately?
I'm trying to remember where those examples are. I'm wondering if you can actually find them in the portal itself, and I can't remember now whether that was something that was part of Fast Track training or was actually in the portal. And unfortunately, yes, there is, there's a lot of, not a lot, but there are YouTube videos that surround the Fast Track portal, have some walkthroughs.
Oh, nice.
And I'm just at a loss to be able to have a link right now on where to get that. But there were specifically calls for partners. Maybe we can find a recording of that and get that out to folks.
And I'll get that link from you, Michael, and put it on the deck before I actually post out this deck. So you will have it in this deck, Ryan, so you don't have to look through emails. And Jason has a question. What's the difference between Discover Hub and Fast Track?
Discover Hub. Maybe somebody else on the line knows about Discover Hub. Sorry. Oh no, I heard this question the other day. I better figure out pretty quick what the heck Discover Hub is. I'm sorry, I don't know.
Yeah, Jason, if you want to send me a message on Yammer, I'll track that down for you and let you know what the difference is. Before we move on to other resources, Michael, I know for cloud productivity, it's active users and it's not seats sold. And a lot of the times we get, again, the same question, and I know we talked about it for small and mid-market cloud solutions as well. What is the approximate timeline? Like if I start right now, how long would it take me to get to a silver cloud productivity competency with all these requirements that are out there?
Yeah, it really kind of depends, right? Is the consulting answer. But the partners that I work with, one thing that I would encourage is just to set goals.
Right.
And usually to get to that silver, you have one individual, you have to pass a couple exams. I think a 6-month goal is probably a good start. I would encourage folks to just go ahead and schedule the exam in advance. So you have a date out there and you're working toward it. I would even encourage you, if you don't mind blowing the $150, to go in there and actually take it as an assessment for yourself.
Right.
And you'll get some feedback at the end of the exam to see, hey, maybe you just might pass, right?
Yeah.
Or you'll be able to see the different areas where you really need to focus on. And they're laid out into basically 4 different parts that you'll see when you go to those exam requirements.
Okay.
And but the other thing to point out too is that many times, depending on how large a shop you are, you may already have certified individuals that have some of the exams already passed and some of the requirements, and now that we've expanded that for those alternative exams outside of just exchange, which is an awesome thing, you may have certified individuals already that you can associate and cover those exams as well. So make sure that you've done an assessment and make sure nobody's actually passed these already. But 6 months is probably a pretty good goal for silver.
Yeah, thank you. And also you bring up a good point. If you have a new employee coming in, make sure you associate that certified professional with your MPN ID on the Partner Membership Center. So if they have these exams already and you don't associate them, then they won't quite show up on your Partner Membership Center either. So just be mindful of that. And I mentioned this earlier already. So the requirements like customer evidence and exams are easier to attain and easier to plan for as opposed to performance. So make sure if you want to get to a cloud productivity competency, be it silver or gold, start planning for customer references and the exams early so that as and when you meet the performance requirement, you can go ahead and get the cloud competency. Cloud SureStep is another resource. So whether your online service business is starting out or it's ready to scale, Cloud SureStep is designed to help you maximize your profitability. You can find additional information when you actually go to the website, and it'll give you an overview. The U.S. Small and Medium Business SMB Partner Center. I'd like to keep these calls acronym free, so I try to explain these acronyms as much as possible. And so for SMB, small and medium businesses, the SMB Partners Center has a lot of events coming up, in particular SMB Live, which is a roadshow that they're going to different cities and holding live events. It starts in February. If you go to the hot sheet, which I will talk about soon enough, that would be the best place for you to figure out where all the in-person and virtual training is it is coming up in the next 2-3 months. They also have partner online technical training that you can make use of, and of course the monthly regional insider calls. So if you want to be part of this community, especially the insider community, you will get information about their Champs Club, their offers and incentives, and sales and marketing resources on a regular basis. The SMB Partner Center, again, is the one place to go for all of this. There are a lot of resources, and this is one slide that brings all of the resources together for you to stay informed as a partner in the U.S. You can stay engaged with the partner community via all the social media engines. Also, for the partner community, especially when it comes to technical product-related services for Azure, Office 365, and Windows, there are blog series, there's training, and also Yammer communities. So Worldwide Partner Conference is also coming up. There are some key links on there, and for profitability and cloud adoption as well. The hot sheet, which I was talking about, the link to that is in here. Please make sure you know how to get there so that you are abreast with all of the new training that's coming up. Before I open it up to questions, I would like to do one more plug for the next in the Cloud Competency Call series, which we'll be talking about Cloud Platform on February 3rd at 9:30. So this is next Wednesday at 9:30 Pacific time. And the format will be very similar, and we'll have our subject matter expert for the cloud platform competency on the line as well. With that, do you have any other questions? Please do type it in the window so we can answer it, and if not, make sure you put up your questions in the Yammer group, in the MPN 101 Yammer group, and if you haven't already joined the Yammer group, please do. That would be a good place for you to start, and also in the Office 365 Yammer group, Michael Cansorli himself is very active, so you can get your questions answered from him as well. All right, if we don't have any other questions, I'll give you a few minutes back on your calendar. I hope this call was useful. Thank you so much for taking the time, and have a wonderful rest of the day.